IVM.
Hey!
Hello there.
Hi.
How you-
Wait. What?
How you doing?
How am I doing? I'm doing fine, Sunetro. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
First of all, I feel like our excitement is not matching up because this was quite a long break.
It was, yeah.
You were in New York, which
I
you'll
was in
come
New
back
York,
to.
yes.
And I felt like we're not podcasting forever. And I
Yeah.
keep saying this, but a lot of my friends who go to the gym regularly complain about if they don't go for a week, they start feeling very agitated. I was starting to feel that about podcasting.
Same here.
Like, oh my God, I need to talk.
Yeah.
And the other funny thing I've realized that when you are a podcaster and you don't podcast for a while, you feel like your real life conversations are very boring.
Right?
I was constantly fuck, I want to talk and I'm talking to everyone in regular life, but it doesn't have that podcasting quality to it.
No, but I kept feeling the same. I just wanted the next Friday to come because we record on Fridays.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to the next Friday that we would sort of record. But yes,
I was dying for it. I was asking for it. You know what I'm doing.
Oh my God.
Pooja Mishra is one of my favorite people on the internet. I'm not kidding.
We have to reevaluate our relationship.
Right. No, I get it, right? She's one of the most crass women. And honestly, I feel like she needs help. Like a lot of people love poking fun at her. Pooja, what is this behavior has become such a big thing. But a lot of times I feel like she's obviously very schizophrenic. And I don't
Have you met Rakhi Sawant?
See, Rakhi Sawant is
very
sensational.
Aware.
She's aware of her craziness. But sometimes I see all her possessed Pooja Mishra. She's put up videos of her possessed and then some tantric baba. And I'm like, oh my God. And she's talking in a different voice, which is honestly like a very schizophrenic problem.
So what was your weekend like?
What is my
Clearly, a lot of Pooja Mishra has been...
No, in life in general. I'm so sad her account got deleted, which I'm sure she's going to blame on Salman Khan and Sonakshi Sinha. But I love her. I don't know why. I just love the no filter crassness that woman has to her.
Great.
Yeah. What about you? Okay, let's just talk about New York. Why don't we?
It's amazing. It was really, really nice. I mean, first and foremost, I experienced a semblance of a winter because like Bombay, we bloody do not ever. But the weather was amazing. The people were amazing. It was my first time to New York, so it was amazing. Lovely people walking around and just exploring new places. Some amazing gay clubs that I went to. There's this place called Club Cumming, which is owned by Alan
Cumming.
Yes, but it was owned by Alan Cumming. And
what is the name? The actor?
He's the actor. The
one who has a very elfish face, like a pointed face.
Yeah. So he's legit at the bar. So I went there on Halloween. He's legit at the bar every night, and he serves drinks. He makes drinks for you. And I kissed him on the lip, and I was just like, my New York trip is worth it. I also met Marissa Tomei over there.
Shut up.
I'm not kidding. I have proof.
Great.
So and she was dressed as Frida Kahlo. So I went and I was like, I love you. And then she's like, how did you recognize me?
Yeah.
So so that happened, and I met another queer, so to say, icon, Kristen Stewart. She's having lunch next to me.
Wait, I always get confused. Is she the Spider-Man chick?
No, Twilight chick.
Who's
amazing right now.
Yeah.
Who's amazing
the Charlie's
right
Angel.
Now.
She's coming out.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So I wished her luck for Charlie's Angels, and she was,
Wow.
she was there. She was shooting in New York for SNL. So
I just went to Dombivli, but sure.
It was lovely, especially going to these gay bars and gay clubs. It was super cool. I love the atmosphere over there. In fact, I told Alan that it's been one of the highlights of my trip.
Did you use any of the apps there?
Duh.
Okay, so tell me one difference between using these apps in India and using these apps.
I think
in New York, not internationally.
No, of course. In New York, I think the laddering to sex is far shorter. You don't have to skirt around the.
What do you do?
So, it was just hey, so I'm in. This is where I'm staying. I'm on Lower East Side, and where are you? You're in. So you're in East Village. Okay, so we are this far away. So what do you think? Should we get together? It was. I don't want to make it sound like it was so easy.
Yeah.
It was very convenient.
Okay.
It was very convenient because that's what people are very clear. People were very clear, which honestly I somewhat in some here and there I also face in Bombay, but then in New York, it was something different, something else altogether.
Yeah, I get it.
There was clarity.
This week, I've been chatting with this ultra cute boy, right? And every time he sends me a dick pic, it's a very pixelated picture. Like, pixelated means not like, oh, it's censored pixelated, but it's like, yaar, ye VGA camera se liya tha. Kaun sa zamane? Which phone is this? So I told him, send me another pic, because I don't believe this one. So he sent me another pic, and even that was very pixelated, okay? And I know I'm not being catfish because we did a accidental Instagram call dial and he actually picked up. I accidentally pressed the, a lot of times and then he picked up and I was like, oh, okay, he was cute. And I just, the moment it connected, I saw his face, he saw my face. I was like, I'm so sorry, I accidentally
Maybe the dick doesn't match the face.
Cut it. But why is he just sending me? And I know it's not his dick pic. He's just sending. So what's wrong with his dick? It's like, and now it's like, I know what he looks like. I find him very cute, but what's wrong with his dick?
So the dick's really important to you when it comes to sex.
It's not important. It's the fact that he's not sending me a regular dick pic.
I don't want, like for me, I just don't like people sending me a dick pic.
I like if it's unsolicited, which also I'm kind of fine with.
I get pissed off. I'm like, nahi dikhna yaar. Like,
but if
like,
I
what is this, like,
I
want
to see it. Like, if someone wants to see my dick and if I want to see their dick and then it's mutual, then I'm fine with seeing dick pics.
I'm a lady when it comes to that.
Because I see so many grinders.
I should show you my, like, everything
real
in private.
Real person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying your phone has no dick pics of you?
I've actually, so I'll tell you, this comes from, so I guess we're talking about, like,
dicks
and, I don't know, fuck buddies, I guess, like, like random hookups and stuff. Like,
sure, just grind life. Yeah. Okay. Come on.
So, the reason I don't, and there was a point of time when I used to, is because there was an incident where my dick pics were circulated.
Oh,
and that's when, since then, I've been very, 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 very careful. So it's a no go for me. I do not share nudes. I do not share dick pics. Come to my house, I'll show you everything. Yeah, come on.
But I feel like what's happened is, and I've said this before, but now. Earlier the criteria to meet someone wasn't this stringent. I feel now it's like everything. Are you a top? Are you a bottom? If no, then no, we are not.
Yeah.
There are so many tick marks to hit before you actually agree and the other person agrees to meet you.
Yeah.
I feel like dick pics are one of those things.
Which do you think it's a bad thing or a good thing?
I think it's a terrible thing. I think it's a terrible... I don't know if I've said this on the podcast before. I was very recently a while ago, I was at a party and... my friend was sitting on the couch and I was looking at his screen from a distance and he was on Tinder and he was swiping left at a speed I've never seen. It was like almost, he was like playing video game, like he was playing a video game. He kept swiping left. So I walked up to him and I was like, okay, I know you're swiping left on all these people. I want to sit with you. And every swipe left, now tell me what's the reason, okay, that you are swiping left. And all his reasons are like, oh, this earlobe is bigger than that earlobe. He's straight, by the way. And, oh, I don't like her hairband. Oh, she's doing this part. And, she's a little squint. Oh, and then I started realizing that, fuck, actually, even I'm guilty of that a lot of times because Tinder has made it not hookup culture.
It's almost gamified.
It's made it like a social game. You know what I mean?
And you cannot not be judgmental. And somewhere down the line, you question yourself. For example, I remember I met someone at a bar who I also saw on Tinder and I had swiped left. But he turned out to be a really great guy. But I remember I swiped left because his pictures were too pixelated. I was like, कैसा camera होगा उसका? That's why I swiped left.
Quite dick pics. Pixelated.
No dick pics, but I mean, that was such... I mean, that was so judgmental.
It really,
of me,
sometimes
right?
even when I saw my friend do that, it was like holding up a mirror a little bit because I realized, fuck, even I swipe left for those stupidest reasons. And some of the reasons that the worst part is some of the reasons that I hate if someone would reject me for, I reject other people for those exact reasons.
Same reasons, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm getting a little more mature. So I realize that sometimes the biggest thing for me on Tinder, at least, is their Spotify. If they've connected their Spotify.
Oh my God, yes.
And if I know they listen to this particular band or that particular artist, I'm like, okay, this person's automatically cool.
No, even Hinge, for example, and I've been using Hinge a lot over the last. In the US, actually, Hinge was my most frequented app, so to say. Hinge was great because you talk about interests and common interests and blah blah blah. And I'm like this Lord of the Rings freak, so a lot of people that I met would be similar, like very geeky, very like the geekdom, so to say. I met someone when I went to visit the Met, for example. We did a round of the Met together, and so that was great because it wasn't about, oh, let's measure our dicks. It, and that's never been that for me. And I don't want to sound like, oh, I'm lofty and better than everyone.
Are you measuring dicks?
That's why I'm not, nah.
I get like, let's suck each other's dicks. But if you meet up with someone on Grindr and you suddenly measure dicks, I'm like,
who goes where? Like that. Like in case both of you are versatile. See, I've thought it out. It's not random. I mean, it's... I feel like it's... Do you feel, okay, I'll rephrase my question. Do you feel like it's a bad thing that people are clear about what they want, or it's this clarity of what you want is basically
just a means
judgment.
To nullify
judgment?
I don't think it's judgment. I think we live in a time where everyone's realized that I can get what I want, but the reality of life is different. I feel like you will never get what you want because if you like A, B, C, D, E, F, G things in a person, then H, I, J, K things you won't like. You get what I mean?
Of course.
Like you're not going to get everything from one person.
No, I sincerely believe that you cannot get everything from one person. And you have to I'm not saying have like 20 partners, but like...
I feel it has definitely warped our perception of beauty intensely, though.
Big time.
All dating apps.
Yeah.
Like, and things that I'm guilty of myself, right? Like, why am I so quick to swipe right on someone who's muscular and looks great in every picture, as opposed to someone who's not good looking but has a very funny bio? You know what I mean? Like, I really, sometimes I take a step back and I try to analyze it, and the confusion that I have to come to conclusion on why I feel like that just gives me an indication of how much these apps have fucked with my head in that sense. You know what I mean? And but I guess it's just I sometimes take comfort in the fact that I know that everybody's going through this shit. It's not just me. I feel like we all are going through this. I know my friends are also like, what the fuck, Grindr is shit, but fuck, they spend time on Grindr. What the fuck, Tinder is not working out for me, but they spend time on Tinder. You know what I mean? And in reality, go out, meet other people, meet new people. Obviously, you're going to this. But I feel like I'm on the other spectrum. Just nullifying these apps because they don't work for you also is not good, because I feel like for whoever it works and whoever clicks
I've like my... I love these apps because it's helped me meet a lot of amazing people.
Sure.
And for me, I've said this before. My definition of fuck buddies, sex buddies, whatever you call it, is not wham bam, thank you ma'am. It's always been
something deeper.
But
not too deep.
But not too deep.
It's basically a club swimming pool.
Yeah, it's amity. It's a very easy amity between the two of us, like where we, if given the chance, we'd spend time together and we'd really enjoy that time.
Do you have a fuck buddy? Fuck buddies?
Buddies, yes. Okay. A couple of them, yes,
Well, how much is a couple, if I may ask?
I think around, in Bombay I have around...
What defines a fuck buddy to you?
Someone who you have like an ease when it comes to that itch, like the sex itch, and you can kind of convey that
taxing beyond that, beyond curing that itch.
It's not heavy. There's no baggage. listen, this weekend, let's just...
Sure.
So people I share that with, and people who I can just go out for dinner after that with, go out for dinner or go out for like a drink after that with, and or like smoke up with, and just have
someone
a good
you can
chill with
without
heaviness, without baggage.
Yeah.
So I think that, and I have, I would say 5-6 people in Bombay, which is great. I mean, I really like these guys. At where it is. Yeah.
I guess again that's so true for a lot of people. Like we've started like, I don't know, without knowing, I feel like we always want to keep things at a distance, and that's where fuck buddies fit in. Because they are at a distance, but they are there.
But they play such an important role in our mental well-being.
Do they?
I do. For me,
do they?
For me, yes.
Again, I agree. Yeah. I largely agree. Like, I get the comfort of having a fuck buddy. Hey, first of all, can I do a quick shout out? This topic came to us from someone called Ishan. And he suggested we talk about fuck buddies today. And somehow we
there
just
you go.
veered into this conversation.
So all our listeners, please suggest topics. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about them.
We'll talk about anything. Give us a topic. We'll talk about
just
it.
Just don't tell us about your fuck buddies. Or tell us.
Tell us.
Coming back to fuck buddies, I have 5 or 6 fuck buddies.
How many bleeps will there be on this podcast?
No, we can curse. We can curse.
We've cursed enough.
Are we going to bleep these? No,
that's
right?
amazing.
Yay. I would leave right now.
Fuck.
Anal seepage. You said fuck, that's an anal seepage. But okay. I've had fuck buddies, and it's like a recycle system for me. Like at any point, I have a certain number of fuck buddies, and somehow after 2-3 years, I find that someone moved, someone got too intense, someone wanted a relationship.
So do you pursue after that, like to keep the number up?
No, I don't naturally. Somehow
it happens.
It's like money in your bank account. You always know it's about to end, but somehow you always earn money again in your bank account. Like that's how I felt about fuck buddies. And here's the deal. I love all my fuck buddies. And there's something larger I want to talk about that stems out of fuck buddies, but we'll get to that later. But I love I genuinely feel like even fuck buddies are like curated boyfriends. You know what I mean? I mean,
boyfriends,
I get what each of my fuck buddy brings to the table. Apart from being cute and nice and like whatever, I can have sex with them. I feel like there's something about each one that I like that the other person does not have. So in a way, it's like it's like a broken down boyfriend. You know, one is great at sex, but is very boring. One is boring at sex, but after sex talk is decent and fun.
So strangely for me, it's actually broken down into even things that I do sexually with them. Like, for example, there's some of my friends who I do certain things with, which someone else wouldn't.
Certain things. Come on, we need to be at a point where we can start saying these things.
I mean, like some more like kinky, like tie-up stuff. I do that with someone. I do that with one of my fuck buddies.
And it somehow really makes me question.
And it's not a lot of my fuck buddies are not comfortable with that. So it's great that I can do that with this person. Then there's one fuck buddy who, there are days when I love being taken control of, and he does that, and I like that he does that, and others don't, and so it's like my spectrum of sexual desires is sort of broken down into all these different people.
You're saying this, and I'm kind of blown away by it, because I just for the first time I'm realizing that even let's say I have 5 fuck buddies, and I individually like a certain thing about each one. I am the same person to all these 5 people, and like you said, I'm different to all of them. So, for example, one of my fuck buddies is a super discreet, very popular TikToker. Okay, he's huge on TikTok, but his thing is that because he's so closeted and he can't come out and shit, because obviously I guess every TikToker wants to be in Bollywood at some point. But his thing is he wants me to like piss on him and kick him and slap him, and I do all those things to him. But with someone, my other fuck buddy who's like the muscular dom type, I'm a total like bottom for him. You know what I mean?
So exactly.
I realize that I'm a different person for all these different people.
Exactly.
I'm just one person, but these are different guys.
But when you put all your experiences together, that's your cumulative sexual
Who am
being.
I?
Yeah.
Who am I?
But like that's your cumulative sexual being. Like these are all the things that you like.
Like from dom top to slave bottom, pura cover kar liya, like sab kuch. The rainbow colors.
Yes, yeah.
Like everything.
So, I mean, that's essentially what we do. But what happens if, again, this is an existential question.
Sure.
What happens when you commit to monogamy? You let go of parts of your sexuality? No, no. With anyone.
I don't commit to monogamy. As in, I wouldn't. And also, trust me, man, sometimes I'm starting to realize that now I need to answer these questions. Like, I've been single for so long now, voluntarily, by choice. I don't know what relationships are like anymore. I really feel like
what's relationship?
Like so much has happened in the world of Tinder and Grindr and fuck buddies and hookup culture and what. So much has changed that I don't know how they work anymore.
Like an update on your phone and then like literature for that.
Yeah. Like I need a pamphlet or a memo. Like what have I missed? What are all the upgrades now that I need to be better as a person in general? Yeah, but can I tell you something funny that happened though?
Yeah, and I'll follow it up,
Around 2 years ago, you know how they say like, okay, I don't know if this is true and I don't mean to be like, just say this for the sake of being funny, but you know how they say like, if you put multiple women in a room together for long enough, their periods will kind of sync. Have you heard this before?
Yeah, but like I've seen it happen. It does
happen.
Is
it true? I don't know.
Apparently, because I work with a predominantly female team and somehow I've heard that.
The cycles like sort of sync. Somehow, I don't know how, but all my fuck buddies kind of synced together, my last batch of 5, and they all wanted a relationship at the same time. And I was like, you all don't know each other. In my head, I was like, none of these guys know each other. But how are they all have synced and like suddenly one was, I'm developing feelings, and it was scary. And it also makes me realize how much of a commitment phobe I am and how much of a commitment phobe everyone is nowadays. Everyone's afraid of commitment because the world is literally at your fingers, right? Today, I might fall into a relationship I might with someone, and then there might be some new fucking twink on a boon, which is monogamy and all. That's a larger conversation. But like, I was really freaked out that suddenly everyone wanted to be more than just what was. And what are the rules, right? Yeah. What are the rules of a fuck buddy? Like there are no rules written.
You make your rules,
You just kind of sync on some level where you understand that, oh, this is not established rules, but like, we fuck because we like fucking each other. We like hanging out together. Maybe I find you tolerable to have sex with you repeated number of times. You're not a creep. The basics are just vetted out, I guess, you know? But that happened to me around 2 years ago. And I had no idea what to do. Because here's the deal. I also realized that in some way I had feelings for all of them in different ways. You know, one I just like because he was so hot. Like if I saw his muscles, I would realize that, wow, I'm just like the Pillsbury doughboy. You know, like that's how beautiful he was. And then the other one, I just wanted to fuck his brain because he was so... You know what I mean? So in some way, I wanted to be in a relationship, but I wasn't willing to go all out for any one of them. You know what I mean? So I feel like it can be tricky for someone. And look at this. We just found something common about us just talking about this, that, oh, you have around an average of 5-6 fuck buddies. I have an average around 5-6 fuck buddies. I can assume that there are a lot of people out there who have a certain set of fuck buddies, right? Yeah. And sometimes I really also question, like, if they are fuck buddies with me, then are they fuck buddies with someone else?
Really?
How does that make you feel? If you found out today,
I know my fuck buddies are fuck buddies.
Actually, I don't get bothered by it. But this is a large conversation with me because I don't want to call him my fuck buddy, but I'm having a fight right now. And he's always said this to me. I have a problem with food in my plate touching. And it's something I try to wrap my mind around. I really do. And you know what? Let's do this in the second half of the conversation because this is really a big deal for me. It's really like, I feel like there are so many things I can work myself out of and I can rationalize and realize where I'm being irrational. Again, I think it comes at age where you're like, you can be honest with yourself. But this is one of those things that I feel like I'm being extremely irrational, and my response to these irrational situations is not mature at all, and it's really annoying the fuck out of me, and it's related to fuck buddies. So maybe let's just do a quick break and
then we'll be back.
See you on the flip side.
Hey everybody, welcome to another amazing week on the IBM Podcast Network. If you're not following us on social media, you know what? I'm tired of asking you to follow us. This time I expect you to follow us. Please make sure you follow us. If you're not following us, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. Seriously, I'm sure many of you would like that, but that's the only threat I have. We'd also like to thank our sponsors of the network this week. Thank you, Storytel. Thank you, Intel. We're really grateful for your support. This week on Cyrus is joined by Prakash Malia. Prakash is the Managing Director for Intel India's Sales and Marketing Group. Prakash and Cyrus get into talking about Prakash's travel habits and also talking a little bit about Prakash's hobby of photography. It's a really fun conversation. Do check it out. On Agla Station Adulthood, hosts Ayushi and Ritasha talk about confidence and self-esteem and how it's different from self-awareness. On the Boundless podcast, Natasha shares the problem of being a brown immigrant in a foreign land and how to cope with it. She also recites her poem on being average and calls it a new voice. This week on GAYBCD, Farhad and Sunetro take us through the deep understanding of being intimate with other people and recreating those spaces. On States of Anarchy, Hamsuni is joined by Ameya Nayak to discuss international law and how it measures up in current geopolitics. On Football Shitball, hosts Gaurav, Karthik and Siva talk about Jose Mourinho's shock appointment as the Spurs coach. And of course, the big game last Saturday, Man City versus Chelsea. On The Habit Coach, Ashton talks about voting and acknowledging the choices that we make with a mindful approach. On Pragati Podcast, we have repeat guest Ameya Nayak, who talks to Pawan about refugees, distress, migrants, and movement of people across the world. On Ganatantra this week, Alok and Saryu are joined by Dr. Srinath Raghavan to discuss politics of the armed forces, nationalism, the impact of social media on perceptions of the army, and more. On Storytellers and Storysellers, Vineet is joined by actress and storyteller Asas Channa and also VP Content and Strategies at One Digital Entertainment, Sudeep Lahiri. Together, they talk about the influencer ecosystem and discuss strategies that can help brands collaborate with influencers better. On the Geek Fruit podcast, Thinkar and Tejas talk about all the notable dragons that we have watched in movies and TV shows throughout the years. And with that, let's get you on with your show.
And we are back. And what was Farhad talking about?
Farhad talks about so much. I feel like I've spoken, like, we've just been 23 minutes recording time.
But
I spoke so much, I feel already. But blame it on this Diwali bencho.
Diwali?
Yeah, because of Diwali fucking, I just feel like we've not podcasted so long. And I have so much to say.
Yeah, like, I know.
Like, this 5 episodes in one episode.
Like, some of my conversations, so in New York, and we'll come to your thing. In New York, I realized that when I was going on a date with someone, I was talking like this. And I was like, I could see that the reaction was, why is it? Yeah. Why? This is a very weird way. Yeah. Because I was oversharing and like talking and like, you know, and what I wanted to
open up.
And
as long as you don't come back on your date, you go on a date, it's a dinner date, you go to take a piss and you come back and you say, and we are back from a break. As long as you don't do that, I feel like you're fine.
Yeah, well, thankfully. But yeah, speaking of this whole thing of your emotion with certain fuck buddies. It's not emotion. Emotion's a very... But why... Okay. Like, let's
I'll tell you what. It's not even a fuck buddy thing, but I'll tell you why I'm bringing it up in this particular episode, right? I don't know if this happens in other cities or wherever Grindr is or whatever. I feel like everybody knows everyone nowadays. Yeah, everyone knows everyone in some way or the other. And... a lot of times what happens, I'm really only talking about this conversation is because a lot of times I feel like I've managed to resolve a lot of my issues by talking about it loudly. So here I'm talking about it. And I know it's a very stupid teenagey problem, okay? So a lot of times what happens is, especially fuck buddies, I kind of know, oh, now you're friends with this person that I also know. Not another fuck buddy, but just generally someone I know. You know? And I don't know if it's a tinge of jealousy or a tinge of whatever, but it does make me feel a little awkward when I find out, oh, you guys are also hooked up. Cool.
That too is like full Bombay only, you know what to do.
And I want a solution for this. How do I stop getting bothered by the fact that everybody is fucking everyone?
That everyone has fucked everyone. I think that's the solution.
I get it where I am wrong, right? Because I am wrong to think like that. It's irrational of me to expect that I can control what other people should be doing.
And I sincerely believe that it has to go either way. It either goes a way where you say, so we should be exclusive fuck buddies, and it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Which isn't the case.
Yeah.
Which you have multiple fuck buddies. Yeah. So this person has a right to have multiple fuck buddies.
Sure.
But if there is no exclusivity, then it's non-exclusivity for everyone.
But again, you know, very recently what has happened is I was very vocal about I don't have feelings for someone. Wow, this is becoming a me problem. Chalo, everyone listen to my problems. Fuck that. But I kind of have a flutter happening for this boy, okay, right now. And the thing is that my fuck buddy knows that I have this thing for a particular person.
Yeah.
And then very recently, they happened to collide at my birthday party because they both were invited and they happened to meet for the first time. And suddenly I find out that they are having a conversation. Now, again, I feel like I need to keep giving a disclaimer. I'm bringing it up in this particular fuck buddy conversation is because I find the nature of this problem in this realm. Okay. So, somehow later on I find out that my fuck buddy is not chatting with this friend he met at my birthday party who I kind of have a thing for, and my fuck buddy knows that. Now I know he's my fuck buddy. He's not my fucking boyfriend, so I can tell him, hey, you know what? Shut the fuck up. You can't do it. How the fuck can you message my friend? You know? Because I know how that makes me sound even as I say the sentence. And I can't tell that boy to be like, hey, why are you replying to this boy? Because like, you know, and then I realized, fuck, I just feel like a toddler in a fucking shop where I want everything and everything has to be my way. And it's something I really try to wrap my mind around and I just can't. But
it's okay. I mean, it's human, right? Like this is where reality hits you. Yeah. And genuinely, we think fuck buddies, this whole thing is so convenient and it's meant to serve a particular purpose. But we are who we are as humans and our emotions do get tangled and it is an emotion.
Yeah, but see, again, where I'm coming with this fuck buddy angle is the last time I fucked with my fuck buddy.
Yeah.
Very post-pillow talk, he was like, oh, by the way, me and that guy are going for dinner, right? And now suddenly I'm like...
No.
So, in my head, obviously, because I know
this
is something I have to deal with. This is my problem. It is my shit to deal with. Farhad, you are not fucking, you can't control this. It's out of, even, you know what? Even if this was my boyfriend and he wanted, and this is how it was supposed to end, I get it, right? I'm really trying to be very like holistic about this whole thing. But suddenly I found it tough to
swallow.
I became a little quiet and suddenly like, my fuck buddy is starting to like, hey, what's wrong? I feel like something's wrong. You've not been like responding to my texts and all of that started. And suddenly now we are fighting. And now it's like, hey, we are, in my head, I'm like, we are fuck buddies. Why am I fighting with this guy? We are not supposed to have this kind of baggage and burden. But somehow it's gone there. And so, again,
that's because
let's move on from that. But what I'm trying to say is sometimes from what we call fuck buddies, like some sort of like,
we don't know how to
project things or bring things out of you that did not know exist.
That happens when either person evolves in like their perception of the other person moves and evolves. And this is my reading, because this has happened to me in the past. When it evolves, it's a great thing when both are in the same place. They both move the same direction. But if that's not the case, and if both of them are not on the same page, that's when the baggage happens, and it's only human. It's only human. We are scared to call it emotion. But it is. If you will get hurt because you're moving a distance. I remember this really.
I'm so happy you're saying that, because a lot of times I feel like, is it just me? Is it just me? Am I the one who's feeling like this? I'm not supposed to feel.
Everyone feels like that. I have been on both sides of the table. Where on one hand, this is a friend of mine who's still a fairly close friend, but then we kind of decided that this fuck buddy thing is not for us because it moved a certain distance. Because this person, I remember,
things got real. Like
things got real because he was very, very giving. He was a giver, and like, but as a person, and I was new to Bombay, and he was very, very accommodating and very. He was very, very generous, and over time our friend circle sort of recognizing us as a thing. But we always, I mean, I'm like 5 years younger, and I was like 21, 22 then. So he always made it clear that I love this, but we're not a thing. And I would keep trying to push the agenda.
But that's my question. When fuck buddies are involved, what's the cap limit? Like,
no one has, because there is no rule.
Okay, let's say the lay of the land or the law of a fuck buddy is that, hey, I like this and this, I don't want anything serious, but I
think
only want
exclusivity. I think exclusivity is where
it ends.
Where it ends.
As in, once it gets exclusive, then no, we can't be fuck buddies anymore.
Then you're something else.
But do you think that ever happens where, or because he's in a space where, oh, I only want this because you're my fuck buddy.
So it's happened to me. It's happened to me where...
Basically, sorry, what I'm asking is, can a fuck buddy become a relationship?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's happened to me.
Okay.
This is 4 years, 6 years back. This chap from Pune, he had just moved to... he would visit Bombay very often. And, you know, every time he would visit Bombay, we would screw and
screw.
And you know, it was great. I would then he moved to Goa, and I would visit Goa every now and then, and you know, it would just be
to meet him, or like just visiting Goa.
If I mean, I was in Bombay, so like the cheapest vacation would be Goa. Yeah. So theek hai, Goa, okay. But then it came to a point where we also spent a lot of time. What happens with my idea of fuck buddies? We would chat. We would like, you know, raat ko he's an artist. Yeah. We'd share, and I love art. I'd share my idea of cool artists, and he would share his idea of cool artists, and we would talk about different kinds of art. And slowly, gradually, there was this one day when he said, I think this can be more, only if you want it to be more. And I was very unsure. But then I looked at where we are, and I figured that we are much more than what fuck buddies are. The only thing that would possibly change is exclusivity.
Okay.
And
sorry, how long ago was this?
This was 4-5 years back, I would say.
So are you all still like fuck buddies?
No, we are. Okay. We are not. We broke up, and after that after the breakup we
You broke up as fuck buddies?
No, we broke up as a couple.
Okay.
So then we kind of evolved into a boyfriend's relationship.
Yeah.
And the only thing was that we are boyfriends to each other. Even if we screw around with other people on the side, we are boyfriends to each other. That commitment, that statement, I think that conversation is where you cap it. That gets capped.
It's tough for me to wrap my mind around, because
it is.
While you're saying this, I'm running through like the Rolodex of my fuck buddies in my mind, you know. And I feel like when I think about it, you all come into each other's life with a certain idea that, hey, I don't want something serious. I don't want something exclusive.
This is your role.
I make my peace. I like you as a fuck buddy, and you like me as a fuck buddy. Great. Let's do this repeatedly. And then I somehow don't see that switch happening, or even if it happens to a relationship, I don't see it becoming, I believe it's a tough relationship, because how do you ever get over the fact that you all came into each other's lives only because you all were like,
but why?
With the intention of, you are one of my options. You know what I mean? I feel like this is such a modern issue. You know?
It is.
Like, I don't see my dad ever sitting like, oh, my fuck buddy is fighting with me. Or like, you know, like, I don't feel like that was a generation where they had like an access to like a certain set of people who they only for like sexual favors, not favors, but like whose camaraderie or like their only agenda to be with each other was sex. And I'm not literally saying purely for sex, because fuck buddies definitely, they are buddies also. They are not just fucks, you know. I have hookups where it's like doorbell rings. I don't even know the person's name sometimes. I'm like, fuck, I just know his Grindr name or Instagram name. And then we have sex, and the moment like I wipe the cum off him with my towel, I'm like, okay, bye. Time dekho, khane ka time ho gaya, chalo bye. You know? So sometimes it's that meaningless, but fuck buddies are, I feel, in the middle ground.
No, it's a very confusing playground, because I'll tell you another instance from my life where the person I was talking about,
the Goa boy.
Not the Goa, but the other guy who was older than me, and he made it clear that this is what it is. And I remember I was studying in Pune that time, and I'd come for my first Pride March to Bombay. And this is a person who had very categorically told me that this is not going to happen. But like, sure, I'm here. I'm going to play my game, and I ended up at the Pride March, and this was amazing. Like, I wanted to feel free. My first Pride March, I kissed a boy in front of a police guy, and I was like, yay! And that full night, I was like making out with that same guy, and he was so affected by it. And I remember at night he told me, "What was that?" And I was like, I was so confused. Shush. No. So I was like, 1 second, you made it clear that this is not a thing. We were just... So what do I do?
It's
like
blurred lines. That's
it's
what
very
it is.
blurred
it's
lines.
Blurred lines. Everything about a fuck buddy is just blurred lines.
So on one hand, I felt like, what the fuck? How dare he? On the other hand, I was like, oh shit, I hurt him.
Yeah.
I could have maybe... played it differently so as not to hurt him. And it's such a...
Dude, this conversation is such a revelation, because I'm just realizing that we all fundamentally know that one person cannot cater to everything you're looking for in a partner. And I'm starting to realize, have we adopted this culture of fuck buddies? Because I'm shutting my eyes and I'm thinking of my 5 fuck buddies, and one has a great body, one has a great sense of humor.
Put them together and that's your life partner.
Yeah. One has a great sense of humor. One I just love because, when he comes over, we just fuck, and then he usually brings a book over, and he's in a corner reading a book, and I'm reading.
We should just live in a polyamorous commune. That should be it.
I'm trying to wonder if I subscribe to this, if I have accidentally subscribed to this ideology of fuck buddies, is because I feel like in some way, if like Rajnikant, I mesh all these 5 boys into one person,
that's your dude.
I will get a mega dude. Like, I found my guy. But that is so unreal. That expectation is so unreal.
Yeah, well.
It's terrifying. It's terrifying.
But why? I mean, I feel like... I'm more attracted. I know this sounds so like contrived, but I'm also attracted to just like, a person who's not everything. That the fact that this person is an incomplete person, and that's also superbly attractive to me.
But sorry.
Yeah, that's it.
No, but also I feel like okay, let's say you have 5 fuck buddies right now. How do you... What's the marker of that says that you're ready for a relationship? Because what happens...
No fucking idea.
Because again, it's such a blurred line.
It is.
You never know when you're ready or comfortable with a relationship.
You really
because
never
right now you have these different people satisfying you, obviously sexually first. And then in some way or the other, again... Fuck buddies are more than just fucks, right? There's a reason you have selected these particular people
over
to repeatedly meet them,
exactly.
Because nowadays we don't have time to fucking meet our friends. So leave alone, like someone I want to have repeatedly sex with, they definitely bring something to the table for me to want to meet them again and again. And then I feel like there's this trap of comfort that you can fall into when it comes to fuck buddies, where you have no idea when you're ready for a relationship. And I'm trying to figure out if that's the reason.
I don't have the answer.
But do you relate to this?
I know completely, 100%.
Like, is that the reason I've been single for so long? Because I've just fallen in this trap of being comfortable with either just jerking off or like meeting these particular set of people because they bring something to the table, and then I'm not. And then there's like a latent bell that goes somewhere. Hey, you need a full-time boyfriend also.
No, I've always joked that, whenever I'm not in a relationship, I've always been on the cusp of a relationship, on the threshold of a relationship with multiple people. And it's so true for me.
Actually, that is true.
Like, it's because it's like... I don't want to be in a relationship. I make it very clear. And, the other party also is very, very party to, that sort of thinking. But it's almost like if I changed one thing, it would be a relationship. But then how do you decide? And why? When does the flip happen? When does the
you just like
the switch flip? And that's what you feel.
I just guess no, you don't even feel for it. It just happens. And you go with the flow.
And you have no fucking control.
Because while you're saying this, I realized that this is like that stupid mirror in Harry Potter.
Mirror of the Erased.
Yeah, because I realized that now I'm on that side of the mirror where I'll tell you what's happening. First of all, in my life lately, I guess. Everybody has some sort of different kinds of biological clocks.
Yeah.
And lately I've had this very deep inner voice telling me that I'm very ready for a relationship. I wouldn't know how to, considering I have 5 fuck buddies attached to me. So I wouldn't know how to. But let's say I have this.
Mentally,
I wouldn't even call it a nagging thought, but I repeatedly find myself, I'm very ready. In a very optimistic way, I find myself talking to myself, telling myself that I think I'm very prepared for a very new, fresh, mature, everything kind of a relationship. And that I'm open to it, basically. And why I said the Harry Potter thing is I realized that now if I had to pick out of any of my fuck buddies to like date, I would be that guy where I'm like, I want more than sex. And because when it's happened to me, I've been like, no, this is too much for me. So I can't expect them to say yes to me because they might just see me as a fuck buddy. This conversation is parts terrifying and parts like...
It's like Inception.
It's like showing me so much about myself and about what I think about my fuck buddies and about
these are modern, very, very relevant modern problems we all face. I mean...
I can just hear people nodding in the future. What have you done to us, Ishan? But, wow, man. Yeah. Whew.
But... I think the fuck buddies play a very important role in, like I was saying, in our...
Are they the stepping stones between relationships?
I would, like, that's like really condensing their role into something very pedantic and like very, very not so important. But I think they play a very important role in our mental well-being, like, you know, our happiness and...
and one of my fuck buddies, I literally just, you know that feeling sometimes you've spent a night with someone and you spend the entire night cuddling, and when you wake up, you have this different kind of...
You're happy. You're just like...
a different kind of endorphin release.
Yeah, I agree.
It's you know what I equate it to? Like, you know, the experiment where the newborn chimpanzee, they put a doll for a mother and one chimpanzee, they give a real monkey, and then the doll chimpanzee dies because its mother is not real. You know, I sometimes feel like we are that, at least I feel that level of lonely sometimes where, hey, I've not had human contact of that personal, deep human contact. And sometimes I just like cuddle with someone and I feel like refreshed, apart from the fact...
I know. So in New York, okay, what happened was this Halloween night, I was dressed as Glitter Jesus and went did a round of the bars and stuff, and one of the bars, the Club Coming that I was talking about. So randomly there was like a fantastic drag show that was happening, and I was like a little like you know, a couple of drinks down. So this chap next to me, we started chatting up, and then we started making out, and please. And then we kind of spent some time that night. But the next day we met, and it was almost like before sunrise and before sunset, where we were just he had a couple of hours, you know, free from work. He came over to my hotel, we had sex, and then we just walked around and we just came to know each other, and it was just like...
Sorry, is this penetrative sex? Just sorry, I don't know why I feel like that's important for the story, but okay.
Shouldn't be important. And also I think I'm a proponent of the belief that penetrative sex is not the only kind of sex.
Of course.
So we had sex, and after sex we went to like this really nice place to eat, which he introduced me to, like, and he's supposed to be German, and it was so sweet because he said, "Oh, so you're from Asia? There's an amazing Asian place." So we went to this amazing Asian place, and we had Asian food, and we just walked around, and he showed me around a little bit of the neighborhood. He didn't stay very far off. It was like a relationship in a day. It was so weird. Like, and I literally lived before sunrise, before sunset, and it's so weird because we take pleasure in these, you know, fleeting sort of experiences.
Serendipity.
And no matter how much I kind of, you know, say, oh, I don't think I'm a relationship type at this point of time, but that it made me feel so happy that I spent the day.
Thinking of right now is so the year is 2009, 2012, and Facebook is new, Orkut is new, and I made all these friends around the world who I've never met in my life.
Yeah.
And I felt like they've brought so much to the table. They're not my fuck buddies.
Yeah.
But even till date, like I can pinpoint 5 or 6 friends who I've never met in my life, but I've had, like, I know what this guy's sister does, and I know if this guy's out, what his problems and anxieties are, and I know what that guy and these are all over the world. Literally, one's in New Zealand, one's in Dubai, one's in like, and these are people I've never met. In the off chance that someday, you know what, we will. They bring so much value to your life.
Okay, I've analyzed this. I also have another theory. By and large, fuck buddies hold a very singularly positive image in our heads because we don't know them enough.
Okay, yeah. Or we don't care, not care, but we don't want to know the dark side.
Because, so, for example, I have this, I mean, I wouldn't say fuck buddy. We met like twice, but he's Spanish, and I'd met him when he was in Bombay. He was couch surfing at a friend's place, so I'd gone to visit that friend, and we ended up hooking up. And then he came over to my place, and he stayed a couple of days with me. Then he again visited Bombay. He stayed over with me. So like fuck buddy that way. But it's all like his image is all positive for me. Oh, he's sweet, he loves this. There's nothing negative that I can say about him because I don't know him enough.
Yeah.
And that's the same with all my fuck buddies. There's nothing negative about them.
But I guess that's how it is, right? Because when you say a word like fleeting, today if I'm someone's fuck buddy or they're my fuck buddy, they know that they are not supposed to bring all the baggage that I don't have to put up with. I just have to put up with the functioning parts of that human being, which is like physical and probably a little
the
whatever.
Pillow talk,
pillow talk levels or how much we connect. Beyond that, I don't want to know like, oh my God, you're such a whatever person, you know?
It's such a catch-22, like, God, you know, it's just,
This conversation just made me run through. I feel like I've gone on a long jog and like...
But this is such a relevant conversation, right? Like,
it is.
We realize all these things that...
Sure. They're complex people.
Complex, yeah.
And I just feel like, I get... Earlier you just happened to say like, what? Like community living, and I guess that's where fuck buddies also fall. Because... That's what happens, right? If you like have 5-6 people and you can't have the notion or the idea of dating just one person anymore,
then
I guess that's what a commune does.
Cumulative. Cumulative living.
So terrified right now. And also relieved and also...
But that's life. I mean, this is... And you're fine. You're good. We're all good.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. Oh, I like sometimes I just have this thing where for time pass, like when I'm showering or shitting, I just wonder like what my fuck buddies think about me. Like even though I'm just bringing one shade card of my life to them, I hope they see me as a 360-degree person. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he cooks also. Oh, he's funny also. Oh,
no, I also, you know, with time, I also I started treating my fuck buddies very differently. I used to be a little cold beyond certain points. But then there are, like, I've also come to realize that we're all human. I wouldn't want to be, like, if someone wants to, so that this one, and he's a friend now. So this one friend of mine, we used to fuck around a lot. But he used to keep insisting, hey, let's go out for dinner one day. And then I would be like, no, and I would make some excuse or the other. He would particularly say, let's cook at your place because you love to cook. And I love just like watching someone cook. And that would just be like my trigger. Then, oh, fuck no, that means that this is going to be more than what it is. And I've just like come to a point in life where I feel, just let it happen, na, theek hai. What's the big deal? Like, we are adults. We can handle looking at each other while we are cooking.
You know, while you're saying this, can I ask you a question? I just realized that maybe if you identify or establish that this person is a fuck buddy in my life, even though they are a little douchey or okay with putting up, because I'll give you an example. I really wish he doesn't hear this, but the muscular one, I literally just have him in my life because he's the idea what advertising has pitched to you as, and we are like a plug-in socket only because he loves plus-sized boys, and we all are brainwashed to think like, oh, muscular pecs, abs, great dick, you are an Adonis, you know. So he's that to me, right? But he's kind of a dick. Like, he once came to my restaurant and he just straight up was like, I don't have to pay for this, right? Because, he actually said that and he did not pay. And hang on. But I kept meeting him because it was purely sex. And what, again, another revelation is, do I give some sort of a concession to some amount of douchiness only because what I want from the person they are good at and everything else I don't give a shit about.
Maybe.
Of course, if he was a person who like clubs baby seals to death, obviously I would reconsider if I want to have sex with them again. But
no, I remember I'd had this person is not a fuck buddy. It was a one-time thing. We had sex, and then in the course of the conversation, it turned out that he was super racist. Like, he was Indian and he was really racist to Indians. He's like, I don't only like fair people, like these black Indians, and I don't like. I was like, wow, you couldn't have said this before we had sex.
Oh my god,
shit. So like,
no, the only reason I brought this up
is
for me because if someone listening is, you know, everybody has issues, and sometimes you find yourself being that person who falls for your fuck buddies. That's a common problem. A lot of times you are like, where's the line, right? You don't know where the line is. Wow, he's my fuck buddy, but now I really like him more than a fuck buddy. I feel like you should always also factor in the thing that, oh, you don't know this person entirely and they're also capable of being a dick.
Yeah, sure.
I feel like you should factor that in a bit.
Yeah, totally.
Because I'm really trying to think about, I don't know the entire, if I put my, right now in front on this table, if I put my 5 fuck buddies down, I literally only know one shade of them, you know, which is
true.
Not 1 or 2 or 3 shades of them,
and
which is okay. This is how sex is with them. This is how conversation is with them. But that's it. I don't know what their drives are, what their motivations are, what sort of their behavior is like outside. Do they call a waiter like choo-choo? Like, I don't know. I don't know those things because I don't spend time knowing them in that sense. So I feel like,
I think we conveniently leave that out because, again, baggage, right?
Yeah, I just want the good stuff, which is sex and all. Ugh.
Sex and conversations.
The fuck part of the fuck buddies.
But
I feel like we've done a full...
I feel light.
I feel like we are like 2 drones who like just flew over some fuck buddy stan, you know, and we just had a zoomed out view of what fuck buddies are.
So true.
And I'm sure you've not touched so many topics about in the whole fuck buddy spectrum, but like, I feel better. I know I need to be a little more mature when it comes to fuck buddies. I feel that.
I mean, just be human.
At least that's what I'm taking away from this conversation. I need
allow
to
yourself to be human.
It's not about them. That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's about me. It's something I need to work on. And I feel like at least I've had that in this conversation.
Because I'm no expert. I mean, I just feel like I'm best when I allow myself to be human. If I want to spend more time with someone, I'll tell that person, hey, let's spend time. And if that makes someone uncomfortable, I'll feel bad. I know that.
Sure.
But like, theek hai na? I'm human. I can feel bad. I'm allowed to feel bad. I like my big revelation, like whatever, like breakthrough for this year has been allow yourself to be human. Like, you don't have to be this.
I say that to myself like
ivory tower that doesn't move.
Dude, trust me. I say that to myself. You know, and I guess we've spoken a lot, but I'll tell you what's been happening to me lately is I realize that sometimes even when you're at peace with yourself, you'll be surprised how people are not okay with who you are. Like, for example, this is the most at peace I've been in life right now. Whether it's with my weight, I feel mentally like I'm doing very well. I've not had to go to therapy in a long time. I feel like I'm doing okay. But I have friends who are constantly like, oh my God, have you got your have you got your cholesterol checked lately? Have you, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
A lot of times there's some sort of concern that comes towards me, and I'm like, that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
But I'm largely okay in life, and I feel like it's an exercise. You have to tell yourself, because there will be always people who will tell you if you are not doing it yourself.
Yeah, but it's a lifelong journey, I think, like for us. Yeah.
And while the journey, if you don't have someone to go with it, you always have your fuck
buddy. Nice segue.
Yeah. Okay.
All right then.
This was such a great conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you for helping me realize so much shit, Sunetro. You really did.
Right back at you, man.
Okay.
Thank you,
Ishan.
Yeah. Thank you.
Not whoever, Ishan. Yeah. Thank you for suggesting this topic. If you want us to talk about something that's bothering you or close to your heart, or just send in a problem, we are not like agony aunts.
We are not experts by any measure.
Yeah, but I feel like everybody is great at dispensing advice, at least, like, except to themselves.
No, and thank you for all the messages that have been coming in. Like, it's
so
amazing.
Many,
so many. Thank you so
Give
much.
Give us your first child.
Yes. Yeah. So just keep giving us feedback, and just keep telling us what to talk about. We love talking.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Whew. And if you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on our social media. I am Farhad Karkaria. You can just look up Farhad Karkaria wherever on the internet, except on xvideos or pornhub.com. And
I'm Glitterbugged on Instagram.
And Twitter and everywhere.
Twitter,
yeah. And if you want to reach out to us, again, you have our handles. We hope to hear from you soon. And that's about it for GAYBCD today. Bye.
This is the amazing story of something awesome. Once, Chuck decided to start a podcast. And so he did. The end. Okay, that was a crappy story. But I've got some really cool stories over at my new show, The Origin of Things. On this podcast, I look at the stories of how brands came into being and sometimes evolved out of quite unexpected circumstances. And to make it really fun, I reveal the name of the brand and sometimes a category only at the very end. The show is 5 to 7 minutes per episode and perfect for trivia junkies and brand nerds, especially those with short attention spans. New episodes out every Wednesday on IVM Podcast app or website, or any podcast app or site that you happen to prefer. End of story. They lived happily ever after.
Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Careers in the New podcast series presented by Accenture, and I'm your host Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay. In this podcast series, we'll get you the latest and greatest in the world of technology that's shaping the future of business as we know it. We're talking intelligent platforms, cloud, AI, blockchain, extended reality, and a whole lot more. Every fortnight on Wednesdays, we'll have for you a hot topic with expert speakers from Accenture talking about top trends in the space, how these are changing the world and creating growth across industries. And more importantly, we'll tell you how you can learn more, build your skills and expertise to grow and stay relevant in your career. Episodes out on the IVM Podcast app or wherever you get your podcast from.